Hi guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today I'm going to be talking about this thing in front of me in tan. This is the Blue Force Gear 10-speed quad Mp7 Mag pouch. These can be picked up between sort of 30 or 40 pounds. I ended up picking this up second hand for like 20 pounds, so it already had a bit of wear done to it. I didn't really mind. I've had some Blue Force Gear 10-speed products before, and despite the fact that they look like they've worn out really quickly, they do just tend to keep on going, and they're actually really good quality. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about exactly this mag pouch here and why I like it so much. So first off, this is super low profile. I really like the fact that it will basically fit all of the different mags and the different subguns, and when the magazine is removed, it goes completely flat. So you might have seen my review on the compatibility with the S-Tac for pistol mags, which turned out is really good. You can fit loads in it. Well, this is a similar sort of situation where it's slightly taller than the S-Tacs. They were probably only down to here, so this gives you slightly fuller coverage, and it's basically a completely elasticated material, and it basically friction holds all of your magazines in. So as you probably figured out by just me saying that, the actual retention that you get on these different sections very much depends on the size of the mag that you put in it. So right here I've got a Mach-11 mag. Now this is one of the smallest submachine gun mags that you're going to get, and I've got one here that is probably one of the largest that you're going to get, this being an Mp9 magazine. So you can see the Mp9 one here is quite a bit thicker than the Mach-11 mag, and it's also quite a bit wider as well. So what we want is something that can deal with this one and this one. This can. So let me show you. So first off, Mp9 mag goes in really without much trouble. I could shake it out, but in order for this to shake out like that, I'm going to be doing a headstand, and I think I've only ever done that on the airsoft field once or twice, so not a very regular occurrence. But you can see it holds it in there. It's not just going to flop out, which is great. The other end of the spectrum right here. So let's go into this same pouch, this one. So this is quite a bit looser. If I turn it upside down there, you'll see it does just, it will fall out. But again, you're going to be carrying it this way up, and so you're going to be working against gravity in order for it to do that. I've got 3 of these magazines, and I have done for the last 20 years. I've never lost one. I've been using this probably for 2 or 3 years, never lost a magazine out of it. Granted, I'm normally running this sort of thing in a CQB situation, so I'm less likely to lose it out in the woods or something, but it still does have enough retention to give me confidence. So that's really good. You may notice, unusually as well, I've actually put some BBs in this mag, and this is for another little question that I always had. So in here we can see we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So we've got 8 BBs in here. Let's see what happens when you put it into the mag pouch and you move it around. When I pull this mag out, is it going to have any BBs in it, or are they all going to be in here? So when I actually come to need to use this, pull it out in a firefight, is it going to screw me over? So let's see what we've got. 2, 4, 6, 7. We've dropped one. Ah, there it is. So that is something to look out for. Also, sometimes if you've got one of these magazines, this is a KSC actually, so it won't do it. This one will, because it's a KWA. Actually no, technically this is a KSC magazine also, but so these ones where it has the bit that holds down, this can be really annoying, especially when you're using these kind of mag pouches, because you'll end up pulling this out, you'll put your mag in, and you'll go to shoot, you'll probably get 2 shots off and realise that this little bit here hasn't been pressed, so it's not pushing your BBs up. But never mind, that's another thing for another time. So we've looked at the Mp9, the Mach 11. This is KSC, but it's identical to the KWA one. Again, we get some really nice retention in there, despite the fact that we've got the curve on it. Obviously, I've got, I think, 4 mags for this, and they all obviously just curve off in the same direction, so they don't get in the way of each other. Mp7 Gas Magazine. This is made for Mp7, so if it didn't fit, I'd be pretty pissed. And last but not least, this is probably the most likely magazine that you're going to be using. This is one for an Mp5. So again, probably the best retention so far, actually. This and probably the Mp9. So your MPs, they're your way forward, and then these are your two outliers with your Mach 11. But what else can I use this for? So a lot of the time, for most of my submachine guns, I have 4 magazines. If I'm playing close quarters, I can often go through all 4 magazines before the game is finished. So what I'll do is I will run back to the safe zone, I will take all of my magazines out, and whatever pistol I'm running, I'll grab the rest of my mags and stuff them in the front to give me 4 extra pistol mags. Now this is an HK45 mag. This is a much thinner, shorter 1911 mag. It still doesn't get lost. Even if I try and bury it right down in there, I've still got enough that I can use this. So it's still a viable option for me. So I'm kind of not really sure what else to say other than like kind of how impressed I've been. I think for the amount, for the cost, I think it's a great product. The fact that you can use it with all of these magazines and all of your pistol magazines means that this is really kind of a one-stop shop. The way that I have this fitted is, what I'll do is I'll just grab my my plate carrier here, or one of them. So this is one that I'll do a review for you guys at some point on this. But this is a Ferro Concept Slickster in multicam black because it's cool. So what you get here is you get these two buckles. They essentially go through these parts here, and then the whole lot will velcro onto the front. So sorry about that. Okay, there you go. And that's how it looks on the front of my rig. So I mentioned earlier how much I like the fact that the entire thing sits so flat, and that it really doesn't, unlike the S-Tacs, for example, which are great, have fantastic retention. I've talked about them in my other video, really impressed with them, but they don't sit flat like this. Now, when something's on your belt, it tends to not really matter as much. It's more, you don't want the width for like going through doorways and things like that. You'll often end up, I mean, I have, bashed things against doorways as I'm going through. But when it comes to stuff on the front of your rig, you're talking about if you need to go prone and lie on your front, how much lower can you get to the ground? I've had BBs shooting centimetres above my head and missing me, where if I'd had to have an S-Tac or something that stuck out a bit more, I probably would have got shot. But because I happened to be running this at the time, most of my mags had come out. Maybe I'd shot them all. They were all sat next to me or something. It meant that I could get that much lower to the ground. And actually, staying in the fight that's kind of fun. It's something you want to try and do if at all possible. So I have personally found this to be a really excellent piece of kit. I know I've done a couple of like slightly scathing reviews on things, but in my opinion, the Blue Force Gear 10-speed mag pouch is a really decent piece of kit. And actually, for the price that you pay, I think don't quote me on this, but I think it's unlikely that you would lose any magazines. I can only speak from my own experience of having run this for years and having never lost a magazine. But also with regard to the compatibility. And it's quite reasonably priced as well. I think you pay about 50% more for one of the S-Tac versions. So the fact that this has come to market at such a reasonable price, And you can also pick it up secondhand. I paid half price for this because I bought it secondhand off eBay. I suggest you guys do the same. Trawl through, have a look, see what you can get. Anyway, until the next time, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.